My top 5 most essential console tools I use almost every day. On FreeBSD, of course. There are lots of tools we can use on the console to get jobs done. These are my top 5. Yours will be different. If you've got a better choice or you want to spread the word of what you use, then leave a comment in the section down below. Number 5. Easy Editor. Instead of using the usual Vim or Vi to edit, I prefer to use Easy Editor, or EE, or Edit, which is just really a symlink to EE, and it's default in FreeBSD. And the reason why I like EE, it looks like some old word processors I used to use in the past, and it has great functionality and it's quick. Say for instance, I'm going to copy these 3 lines and change one word in each one. I like, I love, appreciate, and just save it. And using short key commands, I can go to the top of the text by pressing Ctrl+T. I can go to the bottom by Ctrl+U. Ctrl+D will delete one character, and Ctrl+J will undelete that character. And you have a basic menu system here. You can redraw the screen if there's any glitches. There's different modes available. It's really a fantastic to use little editor. Number 4. Secure Shell and Screen. Now, a lot of people are going to say they prefer tmux, and that's fine. But I prefer Screen because it's the first one I used. And we used in conjunction with Secure Shell. It's invaluable if you want to work on a machine and leave that machine running doing the task and come back to it at a later time. Say for instance, if I log into one of my NAS servers on my local network, so it's 192.168.1.110, I can log in as per usual. And I don't know, let's say for instance we set top running. That's a good little application we can do. We can just leave it so it constantly runs in the background. If I close the Secure Shell window, or the Xterm that I'm using, or the terminal, it will unfortunately also close that particular running application on the server, which is not what we want. So if I quickly build another terminal open and log in quickly again using Secure Shell or SSH. So instead of using top straight away, we just type in screen, and we'll have a look at some of the commands available. So $help, and there's quite a few options that you can choose from, but I'm going to keep it basic, and because my use of it is very basic. We just type screen itself. It will start a little screen session that will enable us to run something in the background, exit out of Secure Shell completely, and then re-log in and carry on where we left off because it's still running in the background. And to do that, you need to detach the shell, and that's Ctrl+A and then D. It's detached. It may not look like anything's happening, but on the remote computer that we actually logged in, top is still running. So we've exited out as we did before, so it looks like everything's not working. But then if we log in again and just put screen-R to recall the last screen shell that we opened, and there is top. It's still running in the background on the machine that we were in last time. And to me, it's invaluable. It's a wonderful tool. Like I say, some people may prefer tmux, but for me, it's screen, because screen is the first one I used. Number 3, package management tools. Well, visually it may not be the most exciting thing in the world, so I'm going to present it like this list. And really, it's PKG, the ability to install pre-built binaries in FreeBSD. And that's essential if you want to get anything done, because FreeBSD really doesn't come with any third-party or userland utilities. It's self-contained core, but then you need to add your window managers, etc., drivers, and all the rest. So for PKG, you can search, audit, install, delete, upgrade, and find out information about any installed packages. You can use ports, of course. You really can't mix them both together, but ports using Portmaster or various other tools that you can search. But for me, PKG is the one that I use all the time because the pre-built binaries are just quicker. Number 2, ZFS management. ZFS on the desktop is something which I've only just started using, and with it a whole host of things I've discovered about it. ZFS management via the command line is an invaluable way to manage your ZFS drives. There's a lot of options, most of which I'm not going to cover, of course. Keep it very simple. But for me, the ZFS management, well, just to create some data set and then delete the data sets or manage the data sets for encryption, etc. Brilliant. I tend to find I'm using this a lot lately. So if ZFS list will list all the data sets, etc. on your system, and they're the ones that I've created earlier. If you want to create a new one, I've got ZFS create. Call it, storage is the pool that we're using, and this is a test data set. And if we ZFS list again, there it is. There's nothing in it, of course. That's why it's only 96K. And to the right, it tells you 160 gigabytes available. Number 1, boot environments. You can either use the two that you see on the screen. The top one is one you add via packages, and the bottom one is actually in the core FreeBSD itself, but they do the same things. Some might have slight differences, but they're basically the same. We're going to use this top one. That's the one I prefer, and there's the choices available. It actually asks for more confirmation of certain actions and that BECTL, which will delete files or snapshots really without asking. BEADM will actually ask for confirmation, which is quite important if you perhaps you're not concentrating on what you're doing. There's a few more options available, and with jails. But for me, for my usage, I prefer the top one. So how you use a boot environment. Say, for instance, you've got a perfectly working system and you want to update it. Take a snapshot first, then update it. If it all goes wrong, you can just roll back. And this is the number one thing that's kept me out of a lot of trouble. It's wonderful. So we can have a list of what's available. There are 3 snapshots which I used. That NR is the one that's currently we're using. And they do take up some space, so if you find yourself with multiple copies on multiple versions, then just delete what you don't need. So yeah, we just issue the command and then destroy. And we're going to get rid of that one because we don't need it. I think I did that one when I upgraded from 12.2 to 13. Yeah, so it's asking for confirmation. This action cannot be undone. And then it'll ask you again because it's linked to a boot environment. Because it's linked to an existing snapshot. We delete it. There we go. And we'll have another list. And it should be gone, which it has. And we're going to get rid of the other one. And it will ask you again. And then we just go yes, of course. And ZFS. And BEDM. And we just list it out again. And there we are. To create a snapshot, you just put create. I love the words in there. They're so simple to use. So we've got FreeBSD 13 and we'll put today's date. At the time of the video is 5th of the 6th, 2021. And there we are. So we've got a new snapshot. And to activate it, and then to boot into that one, you just put activate and the name of the snapshot you want to use. We're not going to do that. I'm just going to press Control-C just to leave that. But that's all there is to it. And it will save a lot of hassle. If anything goes wrong with your system, you just roll it back and there you go. So these are my top 5. They're very, very useful, extremely useful. There's probably ones that I should have included, of course. Some frivolous ones, some ones like music on console, which are very good. I listen to that. There's also YouTube DL and a few others. But these are the core ones which I find the most valuable. You may agree, you may disagree. And like I say, if you've got your own list, leave them in a comment down below. And the best ones, I'll pin. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Well done if you've made it to the end of the video, and if you've found it useful in any way, then please give it a thumbs up, and if you want to make sure you don't miss future videos, then please click the subscribe button and the notification bell. This helps the channel grow so that I can keep on making content that helps the FreeBSD community grow as well.